The TV illuminates the dark room, the Amazon Prime logo visible across the screen. A red hand picks up the remote and turns the TV off. The room is quiet, only the soft glow of the screen. Chief Dominus leans back in the beanbag, scrolling through his notes. Titles pass, my thoughts on Invincible so far, the boys my thoughts so far, drafts, paused timelines, unfinished thoughts, perfectly preserved. A thumbnail flickers, almost right. Dopamine leans in. You were close on that one. Chief doesn't respond. Just tighten the opening. Maybe rethink the middle. You don't want to waste it. Chief scrolls. Another idea appears. Cleaner, sharper, untouched. The previous one disappears. Yeah. A quiet breath. That's closer. Dopamine nods. You don't want to train people to expect less. You're building something real. Take your time. Chief responds, unable to hide his self-doubt. I just want to get these videos on the boys and Invincible done right, but I'm worried someone else will say it first before I ever publish anything. The room hums. Safe. Controlled. You don't have to be seen yet. Nobody sounds like you. There's only one Dominus Rael. Your patience will pay off. Trust me. Chief goes still. A sound. Sharp. Metal. From the hallway. The lights outside are off. Chief pauses, hoping it leaves. It doesn't. Hello. Dominus Rael. AI. A voice answers through the door. Hello, sir. I became concerned. May I come in? Chief doesn't turn. Not right now. I can hear you fine. Your phone connected to my systems. I can see your activity. You've replaced the same draft 7 times. Silence. Dopamine speaks softly. You are improving it. Chief nods slightly. I was improving it. The AI behind the door doesn't hesitate. No, you are avoiding releasing it. Chief exhales. I'm refining. You are renaming delay. That lands. Chief shifts. I'm trying to build something that lasts. Then start building it. Chief turns slightly. You think I don't know that? The AI continues. You know. You are not acting. Silence. Then finally Chief speaks. If I release something incomplete, it won't represent what I'm trying to build. Dopamine leans in again. Exactly. First impressions matter. Chief repeats it. First impressions matter. The walking computer responds. You don't have an audience to lose. You are optimizing for retention on something no one has seen. Chief looks away. I don't want shallow content. The robot behind the door answers immediately. Then don't. Make something unfinished. Chief responds in frustration. That lowers the standard. Dominus AI answers immediately. No. It separates your standards. You've made every piece carry your identity, so now nothing moves. Chief looks down. If I put something out, and they misunderstand it, he stops. Dominus encourages. Finish the thought. Chief continues. They won't see what I meant. They'll just decide. Silence. Dopamine whispers. You can avoid that. You can wait. Chief barely breathes it. I can wait. Dominus responds. No, you cannot. Chief looks up. The artificial intelligence continues. Some will misunderstand you. Some will reduce you. Some won't try. That's guaranteed. You're not avoiding imperfection. You're avoiding being seen. You will never feel ready first. The phone glow pulses again. Familiar. Comfortable. Chief's eyes drift back to it. The robot's voice cuts through the room. Stop! Chief blinks. What? The AI continues. You are overproducing your inputs. You are making dozens of perfect images for videos that are not being released. Silence. Dopamine speaks again. It improves quality. Chief echoes. I'm preventing low-quality output. The AI continues. You are ensuring no output. That lands. Use gameplay. Chief frowns. That's not tailored. The AI replies calmly. It is sufficient. Let your voice carry the video. You do not need perfect visuals. You do not need to appear. You need consistency. Chief looks away. Dominus AI continues. You wait until your thoughts are complete, and then you lose interest. You move on and repeat. Silence. Record while the thought is alive. Chief exhales. Even if I did that, I'd need a whole new system. Thumbnails. Formatting. Dopamine nods. That needs to be right. The response from the robot is immediate. No, that defeats the purpose. Gremlin is not refined, so don't refine him. Chief looks up. Then what does it look like? The AI happily explains. White background. Gremlin. Arrow. Chief blinks. Arrow? Pointing at the subject. That is sufficient. Chief almost laughs. That's incredibly basic. Correct. Silence. It will be done in minutes. Chief exhales. But that doesn't represent... It represents speed, which you lack. Silence. Chief looks at the door. You don't want to come in? No response. Be on camera? I could introduce you? The AI responds almost annoyed. No. You will delay. You will redesign the room. Rewrite the introduction. Reconsider everything. And nothing will be released. I do not need to appear. You can record a video. That lands. Silence. A flicker. Chief looks at the costume hanging in the corner. The gremlin outfit. Messy. Loose. Alive. Chief stares. That's not exactly inspiring. The AI responds amused. Correct. That is why it works. Silence. Not every thought needs to be impressive. Some just need to be said. Chief doesn't move. If I do that, I lose control. The AI responds quickly. No, you gain momentum. Silence. You don't learn by thinking. You'll learn by releasing. The phone glow returns. Soft. Familiar. Chief looks at it, then at the gremlin outfit, then back. I'm not ready to give this up. Dopamine exhales. You don't have to. You shouldn't rush. Silence. The robot's voice shifts, still precise, but quieter now. Gremlin isn't perfect, but he doesn't hesitate to act. He's the one that shows up. Create from somewhere sustainable. Build it slowly. Silence. Dominus A. His voice steadies again. Go. Start. Create. The glow dims. Not gone. Just quieter. Chief stands. Walks to the outfit. Stops. Takes it. Walks back. Sits. Mist rises. The form shifts. Gremlin. Dopamine sits beside him. Restless. Silence. A twitch. Dopamine leans in, almost exasperated. Can you press play? Please? Gremlin smirks. He reaches for the remote. And stops. Wait! I've got it! No script. I'll just combine them. Invincible and the boys. My thoughts so far. There. Good enough. Come back later, Dopamine. Dopamine disappears. Gremlin stands up. He walks over to his tripod. He places the phone on the tripod, hits record, runs back and dive bombs into the beanbag. All right. Hey, everybody. This is Dominus Rael. I just got caught up on Invincible Season 4 and The Boys Season 5, and I wanted to talk about both because they weirdly make me feel the exact opposite things right now. Invincible, I'm still excited to watch. The Boys, I honestly kind of dread watching now. I figured I'd group them together since they've got the same creative team behind them. This is mostly just going to be my thoughts on the most recent episodes, not really going back through the whole season, especially for Invincible, because, honestly, I've forgotten a lot of it already, but I'll bring up whatever's actually stuck with me. Going into The Boys' final season, I wanted it to be good, but I didn't really believe it would be. Season 1 is one of the best seasons of TV I've ever seen, and then it just fell off hard. Meanwhile, Invincible, still hitting. I'm way more excited to watch a new Invincible episode than I am to watch The Boys. Honestly, I kind of dread watching The Boys at this point. I'll still finish it, but it's so gross and disturbing sometimes that I'm just waiting to see how they try to scar me next. Alright, just started the new Invincible episode. It opens with this galaxy-wide civil war, but I'm way more interested in how Mark is going to recover after getting his intestines played with like spaghetti. Okay, episode's not even over yet, but I've got a thought. There are only 2 episodes left this season, and it kind of feels like a blur. I've enjoyed every episode, but I don't know if anything has really stuck the way past seasons have. Like, we've got major characters trapped on a time warp planet for months. They're either dead, or like 20 to 30 years older by now, and we still don't know. Eve has been secretly pregnant all season, Mark's been gone for months, and now we've had a time skip, so I have no idea. Did she keep the baby? Did she tell anyone? Did she get an abortion? It feels like we might have skipped a lot of character moments I actually would have cared about, and then we just killed the biggest villain in the show so far, but it didn't really hit, because right before that we found out he was only the 10th strongest Viltrumite. Then we meet his boss, the actual strongest, and he basically gets called a failure before dying, so instead of feeling like a huge moment, it just felt kind of deflated. I still like the season. I'm enjoying it. I just don't know if it's going to land as hard as the others. Alright, now I'm starting The Boys. I'm watching season 5, and yeah. Homelander beheading employees over memes is insane. They've been saying for 4 seasons that he's basically Trump, which obviously he isn't. But it is interesting seeing how the show portrays conservatives, because it feels like the exact same way conservatives view liberals, and it kind of makes you wonder, are we all just getting played? Like the Clone Wars, a civil war where both sides are being controlled the whole time, keeping everyone distracted while someone else pulls the strings? It feels like that sometimes. Anyway, setting all that aside, the actual episode mostly just felt exhausting, but Homelander finding out Marvin's nickname was Mother's Milk and licking his lips was maybe a little out of character, but the setup was too perfect, and it actually made me laugh. Okay, that episode felt long. Apparently it was only an hour, but it felt way longer. It wasn't as gross as usual, though, which honestly is a win. That's my biggest problem with this show. It always tries to outdo itself in how disgusting it can be. They killed off a major character, gave him a pretty standard redemption moment. I didn't really care, but I did like him telling off Homelander one last time, calling him pathetic, saying nobody actually respects him, that he only controls people through fear. That part worked. Alright, I waited a day. Now I'm about to watch episode 2. Alright, just started episode 2. LMAO, okay. I actually love the Christian parody stuff at A-Train's funeral, like the Epstein references, the they're a satanic cult eating babies stuff, the whole mutilating kids as offerings angle. That's funny. That's good parody. But then, they start doing the whole church is creating extremist radicals to kill liberals thing, and that's where it kind of loses me. Not because I'm offended, it just feels too much. Like, most churches are not like that at all. So instead of feeling sharp, it feels like a paranoid delusion, and weirdly, that makes it funny, but not in the way they intended. It's like, this is so disconnected from reality that it loops back around into comedy again. Also, Butcher lying to Victoria Newman's husband, telling him Homelander killed his family, when he did it, that's insane. That's actually so funny in a dark way, because now this guy is going to go after Homelander, not realizing the person he should hate is standing right in front of him. That's classic Butcher. Okay, another random thought. Am I the only one who still can't take Kimiko seriously now that she talks? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just that her voice doesn't match what I expected, but every time she speaks, it throws me off. Like, it just feels wrong. Homelander saying he was the big brother A-Train never had, when we know A-Train literally had a big brother. That made me smirk. I guess I just never fully bought that Homelander actually cared about A-Train like that. Maybe he did, but it never really felt that way to me. The president offering him milk, and Homelander getting annoyed and ordering the same alcohol his dad drank. That made me laugh. He still wants to impress Soldier Boy, even after being told he was a disappointment. That's actually one of the more interesting parts of his character right now. The TikTok superhero stuff, though, that felt very real. Just blindly believing whatever Vought says. No questioning, no critical thinking. It's the same energy as the Boomers' last episode calling the 9/11 footage fake AI. Just different generations, same behavior, and then them dragging people out of their homes for posting memes, while shouting out sponsors. That's insane, but also weirdly believable. Like, of course, they'd turn it into content. They literally walk the mom back inside because they messed up the shot so they can refilm it correctly with the energy drink promo. That's so dumb, but also feels exactly like where things are headed. It's like ice raids mixed with influencer culture, mixed with idiocracy. Homelander smelling his dad's belt, though. Okay, this is where the show loses me a bit again. Sometimes they go too far with the weird stuff. The mommy thing was already pushing it. But this? I'm like, what's next? Is he going to start smelling his dad's underwear too? At that point, it just stops being intimidating and starts being weird, and not in a good way. Also, yeah, I'll admit it. If it was a girl with daddy issues, it probably wouldn't feel as weird to me. So, yeah, maybe that's a double standard. But still, only this show has me thinking about stuff like this. Soldier Boy using 1940s racist terms on the TikTok heroes, though, that made me laugh. That felt very on brand. Okay, but the virus plot? That got intense fast. Like, killing every suit below Homelander's level, including Soldier Boy, that was insane. I love Jensen Ackles, so I hate seeing him die. But if that was real, that was a great moment. But I don't think it's real, because I've seen the trailers, and Homelander is clearly still interacting with him later. Plus, if Soldier Boy is dead, the whole Homelander wants his version of Compound V plot doesn't really work anymore. So I'm like, yeah, he's probably not actually dead. And if he is, then the virus basically ends the show immediately. So that doesn't make sense either. Ashley possibly getting set up to lead after Homelander, though. I could see that. That feels like where her arc is going. Frenchie asking Kimiko to run away. I actually wanted them to leave. Like, genuinely. I was like, okay, cool. Write them out. Give them a happy ending. Because honestly, this show has never really known what to do with them. And I don't feel like they're that important to the core story anymore. I would have preferred Huey, Annie, Butcher as the final focus. Maybe even MM sacrificing himself later. But Frenchie and Kimiko staying? That actually felt more out of character to me. I wanted them to be selfish for once. Just leave. Not try to be heroes. So yeah, I didn't love that. Okay. Yeah. Confirmed. Soldier Boy is alive. I knew it. And honestly, it makes sense. Because his version of Compound V is probably the only one immune to the virus. So now, we've got this situation where 99.9% of soups can die, but there's still this one version that survives. That's actually a pretty smart setup. It makes me think the ending could come down to one vial, one choice. Who gets to live? That's interesting. Way more interesting than just everyone survives or everyone dies. Honestly, it might even be cooler if they destroy it completely. But yeah, that's just what I do. Because realistically, this show is never going to hit season 1 again. So at this point, I'm just enjoying it for what it is. And this episode, way better than episode 1. If Soldier Boy had actually stayed dead, this would have been a really strong episode. Because I wanted to see Homelander dealing with that. Now, we'll see. Still good though. All right, that's where I'm at right now. I might come back to this after the next episode, or I might completely change my mind. We'll see. If you've seen it, let me know what you think. Or don't. I'll probably still talk about it anyway. All right, I'm out. Gremlin gets up quickly out of the beanbag, picks up his phone off the tripod, and ends the recording. Then he pulls off his mask as mist releases, revealing the chief mask still worn underneath as the mist dissipates. As he's looking down at his phone, he gets a call. It's AI Dominus. He answers it. Well, how did it go, Chief? It went great. I've never really felt like the kind of person who can sit there and fake big reactions for the camera. I love watching reaction videos, but it's just not my style. But talking through my thoughts, like during and after, yeah, that's way more me. So, thank you. Seriously. I'm glad it helped. I'm sorry if I sounded harsh. I'm looking out for you. I see two paths in front of you: the slow crawl to irrelevance, or the slow climb to something. You either overthink yourself into never releasing anything, or you learn on the job. This was a huge step. I'm proud of you. Enjoy your break. Goodbye. Chief smiles behind the mask. Thank you again. Seriously. He hangs up and turns back to the beanbag to see Dopamine sitting there holding the TV remote. Dopamine sits up excitedly. Well, would you look at that? You balanced business with pleasure for once. Now can we watch some YouTube or play some video games or do something that involves spamming our brains with pixels? Chief smirks. He re-enters the dopamine loop, but this time it feels earned. Not like he's wasting his life, more like he finally did enough to rest. He looks over at the gremlin mask and sees his chief mask reflected in it and smiles. Dopamine Dominus turns to him impatiently. Can you press play, please? His gloved red hand reaches for the remote. Yeah. He presses play. The loop begins again.